For some reason, I wrote down a title, The Heart with Mismatched Socks. So here's me, and I'm hunting for my South African ID card. It's just a little piece of green plastic. They haven't yet brought in the thing called the Book of Life, which is more like a passport. It's just a little green piece of paper with laminated plastic and a photograph in the corner that you can feel through the plastic. And there's me, 16 years old, smiling, because you were allowed to, out of the photograph with my regulation high school haircut and every reason to smile because I've only got 3 months left of high school, and I can see that piece of plastic clearly in my mind with its little cigarette burn in the corner, and I am hunting everywhere for my South African ID card. I'm throwing things around looking for that stupid little piece of green plastic with the cigarette burn. I can remember every single place it's been for all the time I didn't need it. And it isn't anywhere in any of those. And it isn't in any one of the rooms, room after room of the piles of paper that I call my life. Piles of paper, some of them bound, some of them unbound, some with pictures, some with words, letters received, letters half written, long, long letters never sent, forms and documents and photos of one kind or another, all sorted the way a volcano sorts the earth into layers every time it erupts. And I'm the one erupting. I need that goddamn ID. The bank needs that ID because South Africa won't release money to Canada without proof of emigration. And that's the missing piece of the puzzle. The room after room of piles of paper that you don't dare throw away when you're scared of forgetting. So, what to do? Another time in my life, you chuck it all away. You pack everything that you own into one backpack and you go start again some other place. But now I'm in Toronto. It's January 2015. I'm 62 years old. I'm simmering like a volcano. I'm turning over piles of memory insurance, room after room, trying to find my smiling 16-year-old self. Nowhere to be found. This July is going to be 40 years since I left Johannesburg for Toronto, and I'm turning my still rented house in Kensington Market upside down because I can't get the little piece of money coming to me from my mother's estate until I can prove to the Reserve Bank in South Africa that I actually emigrated. And that's what this story is about. I have no proof that I ever emigrated. And for a lot of people, for a lot of reasons at the time I came here, they have no proof that they emigrated. Some for much more dramatic and courageous reasons than mine. Mine because I can prove I came on a one-year student visa to do an MA at the University of Toronto. I have the documents for that. 3 of the 5 family members who waved goodbye that day are still alive and could prove that I did. I can document that I managed to get accepted into the PhD program after a crazy double course year MA, which I had to finish before the $160 a month that was coming from South Africa ran out. I can show how I got the teaching assistantships and university scholarships that turned that 1 year into 4. I could tell you about the person who managed to help me get temporary work permits, 3 months, then 6, then 6, then a year, and who was courageous enough to actually write the letter that they would give me permanent employment, and who was the one who gave me a ride home from the office from Don Mills to downtown every night, because we were the last ones working, him the highest and me the lowest every night. So I can prove all that, but I can't. Oh, I can even tell you the exact moment of my immigration to Canada, the crazy drive from Toronto in a borrowed car across the bridge into the United States at Niagara Falls, so that the border control could turn me away because I didn't have ID, and I could come back into Canada with the piece of paper they gave me to say, see, I have been out of the country, so now you can stamp my papers and let me in. I've got the papers for all of that. That was the moment of technical immigration into Canada, and I could even tell you about how in the process of being an immigrant, the heart is a little bit like late luggage. It comes after your physical body arrives, and pieces of it are missing, and you're never quite sure if some things maybe got stolen on the way. And after that, being an immigrant is not being a thing, it's one rite of passage after another rite of passage and another rite of passage. From feeling like a migrant as you go through the 15 or 16 apartments that you're in the first 15 or 16 years that you can still name after 50 years. And wondering if you'll ever stop being treated like an immigrant at the point where all you want to be is not anything particular, not anything hyphenated, but just here and you. And the moment of meeting my beloved and the moment of the birth of my newborn daughter, looking down at her 10 years to the day after I got on that plane to leave Johannesburg for South Africa, and looking down at her, knowing that she's starting her life with something called Canadian imprinted first and foremost on her heart, but that she's also got this other mysterious something tugging like the moon tugs the tides, saying, come discover this other part of you. I'm the place your father never left officially until I find the smiling 16-year-old in that little green ID card. So, the heart with mismatched socks. 2 years after my daughter's born, I can still see her between us as we go off to some Croatian cultural center in Toronto for a play, and she's there with me on the one side and her Canadian mother on the other, and one yellow sock and one red sock, and a little old lady all in black stands in front of us and lets loose a stream, wagging a finger, and the director of the play is blushing to his hair roots, and we say to him, "What did she say?" And he says, "Well, she was looking at her socks." And we said, "Yes, but what did she say?" And he said, "She said, 'Shame on you. If the wolves get her, they will think 2 children have died.'" And I wonder when the great wolf comes for my heart, will it be 1 or will it be 2?